So, thank you for watching. This took me like 25 hours spread over 8 days to build, and this is my third largest project I've ever built by myself.
Hey guys, welcome back. Alright, Iraq's economics are a game of dominoes. Let's talk about that. Let's just lay it out. Let's talk about what's happened. So, since the beginning of the year, you guys haven't really seen any economic articles until Kademi finished his cabinet, okay? And until Kademi even got in there. That's Iraq showing you that Iraq had to achieve stability before they could launch and progress their economy, okay? And that's what you're seeing right happen now. Let's talk about this quarter, okay? Let's talk about everything that's shown its face, come forth, and everything that's happened. At the beginning of the quarter, they talked about white paper reforms. Then a little bit deeper into the quarter, okay, they finally started talking about the 2020 budget. And then on August 20th, you had the Iraqi government delegation come to Washington and sign $8 billion worth of agreements, business agreements, okay, such as GE. GE signed $1.2 billion agreement with the country of Iraq to enhance and improve their power grid, okay, and generating stations and so forth. So now let's talk about this. So they've got all this new economic and money-related items. That's probably a better way to put it, is money-related items that have shown their face, but nothing's come forth. We have those $8.2 billion worth of agreements that Iraq signed with U.S. companies while they were here. None have been executed. None have started. Okay? You have Kurdistan and Baghdad that have to reach in a comprehensive agreement that it all has to boil down to do with money in the budget. They haven't reached the comprehensive agreement yet. You've got the 2020 budget that needs to get approved. They haven't even started it yet, okay? And you have the reforms that require funding. They need money. They haven't started that yet, okay? So as you guys know, everything is looking really good right now, okay? But yet everything that I just laid out for you that has to do with money, nothing's been started yet, okay? That's what I want to bring to you. Nothing's been started yet. So why? What is it waiting on? What's going on? What are we waiting for here? Well, here's what it boils down to. It's guys, Iraq's economics and really the movement of the money, it's a game of dominoes. Guys, this whole video is my opinion, should not be used for financial advice. Everything that has to do with the economy right now and the movement of money, including the Baghdad-Kurdistan Comprehensive Agreement, that the bottom common denominator there is money. Okay, it has to do with how much money is going to be juggled between Kurdistan and Baghdad. Okay, and notice, okay, so basically this is a game of dominoes. Okay, and the first domino that has to fall, guys, again, this entire video is my opinion, should not be used for financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. Okay, the first domino that has to fall, guys, is that rate has to change. That's what they're showing you. The rate has to change. Kurdistan and Baghdad can't even reach their agreement. Okay? They can't even start the approval process of the 2020 budget. They can't even approve the reforms. They can't even start those $8.2 billion worth of agreements that were signed in Iraq back on August 20th. Okay? They can't execute those agreements. Let's get into the news. Let's see what we have. Alright, so on to the news. Let's see what we have here. Alright, so here is the first one. Let's see what this says. Alright, so a Kurdistan regional government delegation will visit Baghdad tomorrow. That means tomorrow, Sunday, to complete the talks. So here's what they're telling you guys in this agreement. They're actually telling you that a Kurdistan regional government delegation will visit Baghdad tomorrow to complete the talks. Kurdistan's going to Baghdad, guys, to wrap this up. Okay? Again, it's a game of dominoes waiting on the rate change. So, I'm not putting a big crazy opinion in this. I'll let you guys draw your own conclusions. I'm just going to sit here with a huge smile and be as happy as I can be. Because I'm happy right now. Very happy. So as you guys see, let's look at the article. It says, on Sunday, a delegation from the Kurdistan regional government is scheduled to visit the federal capital, Baghdad, to resume discussions about the region's share, that means money, like I've just told you, and its percentage from the financial budgets for the next 3 years. Again, 3-year budgets, They're going to do a 3 years worth of budgets at one time because they have to spread out the reforms and budget those over a 3-year period. According to the information available, a delegation composed of the Ministry of Finance and Economy and the Ministry of Planning will visit Baghdad tomorrow to complete the discussions that were launched weeks ago on the budgets of 21, 22, and 23. Remember, guys, they're already in agreement on the year of 20 budget. Okay, the 2020 budget's already resolved and done between Kurdistan and Baghdad. Okay, the information indicates the delegation is concerned with the federal budgets and not political. It has nothing to do with the rest of the differences and outstanding. Right there, guys, that's key. It has nothing to do with the rest of the differences and outstanding issues between Erbil and Baghdad. On Friday, the Prime Minister of Kurdistan Region, Barzani, expressed his optimism that a final agreement would be reached to resolve the differences and issues between Erbil and Baghdad. Okay? The provincial government delegation had previously made several visits to the capital, Baghdad, after the previous federal government, headed by Mahdi, stopped financing the salaries of employees and workers in the public sector in Kurdistan. The differences and outstanding issues between Erbil and Baghdad are based on the region's share of the financial budgets. So right there, they're telling you really the remaining, because it says outstanding, the differences and outstanding issues. So outstanding means remaining problems between Erbil and Baghdad are based on the region's share of the financial budget. So once they reach an agreement on the remaining budgets, guys, all their differences are resolved. The entitlements of the Peshmerga forces, the export of oil, and the disputed areas covered by Article 140. Article 140, guys, they have to amend the Constitution and add Article 140 to it. The current Constitution only goes up to Article 139. Okay? So they have to amend it and add 140 to it. And on several occasions and times, the Kurdistan regional government has expressed its willingness to deliver 250,000 barrels of crude oil in one day. So again, let's look at the title. The Kurdistan regional government delegation will visit Baghdad tomorrow to complete the talks. So guys, they're telling you tomorrow they're going to reach that comprehensive agreement. Okay? And again, the movement of the money is waiting on the rate change. I'll let you draw your own conclusion on what that means. I know you guys are all very smart and intelligent. Let's look at the next article. Historical agreements solve intraceable crisis between Baghdad and the Kurdistan region. Talks between the federal government and Kurdistan have recently yielded historic results that will soon see the light after the years of thorny crises over oil, the budget, and payment of debts no less than $25 billion in US dollars. The writer and political researcher specializing in Kurdish affairs, Mohammed, revealed in a special statement in the Sputnik correspondent in Iraq today, Saturday, the entirety of the discussions that took place between Kademi and the Kurdistan regional government and the results of the exchange of the visits to resolve outstanding issues after that its solution was impossible during the past years. Mohammed shows that the Kurdistan Regional Government Council discussed with the region's president at the end of last week the files that were discussed in the visit of Kademi last week on the 10th of this month, September. He added that there were many files Kademi discussed with the Kurdistan Regional Government, on top of which is oil and the region's share of the budget, salaries, and the disputed areas. Again, that's Article 140. Mohammed pointed out that a spokesman for the federal government confirmed that the most important outcome for the talks is that the region's share of oil will be handed over, and that this is an important point for the first time identified in the budget for 2021. He continued to explain that the region's share of the exported oil and the value delivered to Baghdad will be fixed in the federal budget, and that these agreements will soon see the light after the 2020 budget is approved. Agreements. Mohammed added that there are many understandings between Baghdad and Erbil in the various files that have been talked about, ending that the file of the border outlets. As Kazemi visited the ports in Dahuk and Somalia, he revealed what was leaked, that half of the imports of these outlets will be of the federal government and the second half of the regional government. As the Constitution recognizes this partnership in managing ports, Mohammed added, as for the disputed areas between the center and the region, they are not resolved by visit or by decision as they have agreed to open coordination centers between the Iraqi forces and the Peshmerga in most areas, starting that in Diyala, Kirkuk, and areas Nineveh such as Sinjar, north of the country. He suggested that the delegation from the Kurdistan region to Baghdad to complete these matters, in addition to discussing many other belongings, including the entitlements of companies that extract and export oil. Mohammed stated that the benefits claimed by the region amounted to nearly 27 billion, most of which are due to oil companies and salaries and loans and debts owed by the regional government for their sustainability. He stressed that the technical and very serious committees from the Kurdistan region are continuing their discussions under the guidance of the presidents of the Kurdistan region and the federal government. In the conclusion of his speech, the writer, political researcher specializing in Kurdish affairs, says this visit moved and activated the work of these committees and accelerated the discussion of the salary mechanism. Even during the remaining 3 months of this year, it has calmed down the problematic in the media between the center and the region about salaries, oil, region's share of oil, and the budget. These are most of the decisions or discussions. The Iraqi Prime Minister Mustafa Kademi made a visit with a high-level delegation to the Kurdistan region on September 10th to resolve outstanding issues before sending the federal budget to Parliament for approval. The president of the Kurdistan region, Barzani, and his accompanying delegation visited Baghdad on Wednesday, September 2nd, to meet the Iraqi officials and the French President Macron during his visit to the Iraqi capital. So there you go, just more information letting you know, guys, they're about to reach that comprehensive agreement, okay? Let's look at the next article. Kurdistan, we are ready to provide what Baghdad requests in terms of numbers, documents, and files related to it. So just more supporting evidence they're about to reach that comprehensive agreement. The Kurdistan Regional Government of Iraq has shown its full readiness to cooperate and provide all facilities for all the numbers, documents, and belongings that Baghdad requires in all files. The Kurdistan Regional Government's Minister for Baghdad Affairs said in a statement that there are many unresolved files and issues that need time and long discussions, and therefore the frequent visits, delegations, and formation of committees does not mean failure of negotiations between the two sides. He added that the issues between the two parties are complex with regard to oil and gas, the regions sharing the budget, the issue of the region's office in the hands of companies, the issue of border crossings and how to manage them. And these need details and parts, and this will be discussed through the subcommittees that will discuss each small and large in preparation for an agreement. A comprehensive and permanent meeting with Baghdad prepares for a new phase. Okay, Shwani indicated that the regional government has full readiness to cooperate and provide all facilities for numbers, documents, and belongings of all files that Baghdad requires. Again, just more information showing you that Baghdad and Kurdistan are about to reach that comprehensive agreement. The government did not send the 2020 budget. Guys, it's waiting on the rate change. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay. Baghdad. The Parliamentary Finance Committee confirmed on Saturday, September 19th, that the government has not yet sent the draft budget for the year of 2020 to the House of Representatives, calling on it to expedite sending it for the purpose of voting on it. A statement by the committee received referring to the special session council ministers on Monday, in which the draft federal budget law for the year of 2020 was approved by the council of ministers and has not sent the budget until now. So they're saying as of now they've officially sent the budget. Council of Ministers has sent the budget to Parliament to be able to start the approval process. The Finance Committee urges the government to expedite sending it for the purpose of voting on it, as it contains several paragraphs that serve all segments of the people. Serves all segments of the people. Sounds like reforms to me. Earlier, in a spokesman for Prime Minister Talal said Tuesday, September 8th, the cabinet approved a proposal that would accommodate more than 25,000 people with higher degrees through universities and private institutions. Mullah Talal indicated that there are loans for young people in order to open projects to try and move the economy and reduce unemployment, indicating that there is a grant from the central bank to be distributed to private banks as loans to young people, explaining that he will start implementing a project to collect electricity based on modern technology. That's a reform. It's an upgrade to their infrastructure, guys, right there. Implementing a project to collect electricity based on modern technology. Okay, that's them wanting to improve their infrastructure. It's part of the reforms, which requires the rate change, of course. But you guys already know that. He pointed out that Prime Minister and the ministers are ready to implement any constitutional decision issued by Parliament. The Prime Minister's spokesman said that the 21 budget will address the issues of contractors in accordance with Resolution 315. Next article. Disclosure of the details of the government reform paper and the date of sending it to Parliament. The Parliamentary Finance Committee revealed on Friday that the government's intention to send the reform paper to the House of Representatives in the middle of next month. Middle of next month? What do you guys think it's waiting on? The rate change, that's right. And it's kind of also waiting on the budget, the 2020 budget, because, you know, it requires funding. So there you go. The government intends to present the reform paper to the House of Representatives in the middle of next month, noting that the paper includes reducing the salaries of higher and special ranks without prejudice to the salaries of employees. Okay? So look at that, guys. They're going to reduce the salaries for people in higher pay scales. Okay? Part of the reforms. He added that the reform paper for the Ministry of Finance is preparing will include ministerial structures, spending sections, stopping waste of public money, operational and investment budgets, in addition to working to maximize state resources and provide the appropriate environment for foreign companies to invest. Foreign companies, guys, that was key right there. Provide the appropriate environment for foreign companies to invest. That's kind of part of the 2020 budget, guys. Foreign companies can't invest until Iraq's currency really is internationally recognized. Okay? Because that's all they're going to get paid in is dinar, and it's not recognized, so it's useless outside of the country. That's huge, guys. That's a very key piece. On Monday, June 22nd, Prime Minister Kademi announced the details of the white paper prepared by the Council of Ministers, which includes economic, financial, and administrative reforms. During his meeting with the chairman, the members of the Parliamentary and Economic Investment Committee, Kazemi, said that his government prepared a white paper for the upcoming reforms and has taken preliminary recommendations to be discussed before proceeding with them, stressing the need for integration between the government and Parliament to support these reforms. He pointed out that mismanagement and absolute dependence on oil revenues is what brought us to the situation we are currently witnessing, and we seek to address it by working to activate the sectors of agriculture, industry, tourism, investment, and others to maximize. So, as you guys see, they are this literally is a game of dominoes. Everything you can think of that has to do with money. Kurdistan, Baghdad Agreement, all the remaining budgets they want to do, the 2020 and then the 3-year budget, okay? The reforms, executing those contracts that were drafted on August 20th, everything has to do with that rate change. That first domino has to fall, guys, before any of these things are going to happen or even start. And that includes the approval process. Okay, if they do not change this rate, they're showing you very clearly they are not even going to start the approval process. Let me bring forth the dessert. I waited on this for last. Here's some dessert for you. Hold on, let me find it. It's at the top here. I got to go back down to it. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. There's one more. Hold on. Here we go. Here's your dessert. And this is what I want to ask you. You guys tell me, why in God's green earth did they pick that weird date? Why did they pick the weirdest date for this? Okay, let's look at the article. Pompeo will return to the UN to reimpose Iran sanctions next week. Okay? The U.S. will return to the UN to reimpose sanctions on Iran next week. The Secretary of State said on Wednesday the country would also do all it needed to make sure the sanctions are enforced. Mike Pompeo said in a press conference in Washington with British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab. The Secretary Council rejected the U.S.'s August bid to extend an arms embargo on Iran beyond its expiration in October. Pompeo said the sanctions on Iran will snap back at midnight GMT on September 20th. Why September 20th, guys? Think about that very carefully. Why? Why September 20th? Okay? And then don't forget about the article that was right below that. Kurdistan regional government's going to Baghdad tomorrow, guys, to reach an agreement on the 3-year budget, because they already have one on the 2020 budget. So again, you guys decide. When's that rate going to change? Let you guys decide. It's those are amazing, strong facts, guys. All I can do is say it with a huge smile because I'm excited right now. I really do feel this is the perfect storm, guys. This storm could not be more perfect for Iraq to actually change the rate. Okay, it's the perfect storm. Just look at everything, how it's positioned. Look at everything Trump has done. Okay, everything on the U.S.'s side. Look at all the peace agreements reached with Israel. Okay, look at everything Iraq's done. Look at all the stability they've reached, and they've made it very clearly too. They've showed you factually they've got to have the stability to go international. Okay, and look at everything they've showed you that is like paused and standing still, waiting for something that has to do with money, and everything I've already rattled off to you. Kurdistan and Baghdad comprehensive agreement. Okay, that all has to do with money for those budgets, and all those agreements have everything. They're all have everything to do with the money. Okay, so everything that has to do with money, guys, is literally on standby, on hold. It's waiting for something. Those dominoes cannot fall till the first domino falls, and it has to be the rate change. Okay, that's what they're showing you. So anyway, guys, there you go. Just wanted to bring forth, show everything to you guys. Hey, God bless you guys. Have a great day. Take care.